What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to DeadBall TV. This should be a quick video. We're going to be reacting to the AFC Round 4 draw, which happened earlier today. I have not seen the groups yet. I do not know what type of chaos is about to unfold. I just hope these are at least moderately juicy. But they might be incredibly corrupt and rigged for the two hosts. We're just going to have to wait and see. Before I get into this, guys, if you like videos about AFC, make sure you subscribe because I've made 10 videos every single international break. I cover Asian football all the time on the channel. I'll be doing live watch-alongs for Round 4, predictions for Round 4, predictions for Round 5, covering the Asian teams with the World Cup. Just hit subscribe. And let me know y'all's knee-jerk reactions and predictions to these groups down below in the comments. I'm checking out Group A. Here we have Qatar, UAE, and Oman. Interesting. Okay. How do we feel about this? This is an interesting one because of Qatar, UAE once again. And this time it's going to be in Qatar, of course. They're going to be the home side here. UAE, for those who don't know, they mollywopped Qatar in round 3. They beat them 3-1 away in Qatar, and then they beat them 5-0 at home. One of the worst defeats, probably the most embarrassing defeat in the history of the rivalry. This is a very heated rivalry inside the AFC and West Asia specifically, and we're about to see it again. And then you have Oman here, who just appointed Carlos Queiroz, and I have recorded a video with my thoughts on that. It will be dropping tomorrow, so hit subscribe. Oman were always going to be a defensive turtle team, no matter what group they got pulled into, and now with two offensively, I would say, adequate to even good sides in Qatar and UAE, that's not going to change. So interesting, the hosts will play the first and the third game. So Qatar could be on 0 points after the Oman game in match day 1 and have to wait until match day 3 to play the UAE to get something. I don't know how you guys feel, but this is a pretty even group. We'll go team by team. I think if you're Qatari, you're feeling okay about this. I don't think you're really excited. I don't think you're terrified either. If you're Emirati, I think you will be the happiest of the fan bases because you will feel like you have Qatar's number and you can at worst get a draw again, and then you'll be feeling good against Oman. If you're Oman, though, I don't think this is a disaster group for them because Qatar's defense is the worst in Asia, and Oman can be at times a pretty solid counterattacking team. So there's definitely goals here for Oman to get. They just can't concede to Al Mozali and Akram Afif. The UAE-Oman game, actually, I think is going to be a banger, which means in Group B, we have, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Indonesia. So we're going to get another rematch from round 3. The Saudis drawing Indonesia at home in round 3 and then famously losing away 2-0 in Jakarta, Indonesia's best victory of all time, probably Saudi Arabia's most embarrassing defeat of all time. So both Saudi and Qatar will be looking to get some revenge in round 4. And you guys know I'm a big storylines guy. If I'm trying to be positive about this, we do get to watch, like, okay, does Qatar finally get one back on UAE? Do the Saudis get one back on Indonesia? Which I can't believe I'm saying that. Stay tuned. Iraq have to play the Saudis in Indonesia, and I think Iraq will feel okay, actually, that they can beat Saudi Arabia. I think they'll be feeling pretty confident about that. I think Iraq are the favorite to win this group, and I think playing Indonesia, look, I know it's not the same Indonesia team that it was in round 2 when Iraq kind of slapped up Indonesia in both games. I think they won 8-1 on aggregate, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, this is going to be a different Indonesian squad. They will still be feeling good, though. Indonesia, I think, are in the biggest disadvantage because this is a true 100% certified away game for them. For Iraq, at the minimum, I think they might have some traveling supporters and they're at least familiar with the environment and the climate. Whereas Indonesia, this ain't Southeast Asia, bro. In fact, they're the only non-Middle Eastern team here. So Indonesia, I think they're really up against it here. Look, they'll be feeling like in that first game against the Saudis, they could do something. I'm just concerned with how bad the defense has been under Kluivert and how the Saudi offense is always a little bit better at home. If the Saudis weren't hosting this, they're 100% getting eliminated. But because they're the host, there's just that little possibility, the door is just being kept open a little bit. But if you're Iraqi, comment down below. I feel like you're okay with this. Would you have rather had Qatar? I don't think so, actually. I think I would have rather played Saudi Arabia. Qatar at home are genuinely terrifying. Saudi Arabia at home? They're better. They're not great, though. And Indonesia, like, look, no disrespect, but if anybody cannot beat Indonesia, you do not deserve to go to the World Cup. Because Indonesia, if they qualify, will be one of the worst teams at that tournament. And so, like, if you can't beat Indonesia here, you never deserve to go in the first place. And I'm kind of saying the same thing about Qatar and the UAE towards Oman. Like, if you can't beat Oman, Carlos Queiroz or not, you shouldn't be representing Asia at the World Cup. I'll probably make a follow-up predictions video right before this window happens, so hit subscribe for that, because undoubtedly, there's going to be new managers appointed. AFC, we love to get a new manager in every single week. There will be injuries and whatnot, so, hit subscribe for that. But as of right now, I feel like Iraq can get it done in Group B. Group A is very, very tough to tell. Just by virtue of Qatar being so beast mode at home, I actually think they're the favorites. Very, very slight favorites over UAE, but I do feel like that's the case. Oman are kind of playing with house money here, and same with Indonesia. Like, if those guys finish in second and go to round 4, or if they freaking win the group, massive W. I feel like the teams with the biggest pressure, actually, y'all let me know if you disagree, is the Saudis number 1, and then UAE number 2. I think the UAE has more pressure than Qatar, because the UAE beat the crap out of them last round, so everybody will be expecting that to happen again. We're kind of in this weird scenario here where Qatar, yeah, they're the host, but they're also not in the most pressurized environment because they lost 3-1 last time. In Saudi Arabia have the pressure because you're one of the giants historically of Asia. You have the Saudi Pro League with billions of dollars being invested, and you're hosting. So there's just a lot, and you went to the last World Cup as well. You regularly go to World Cups. There's so much pressure on the Saudis here, and they've been one of the worst teams to watch in Asia, and I'm not sure if it's going to get any better in this round, but, I mean, if they qualify, I'm not sure how many supporters will care. They're going to get trounced at the World Cup if they make it, but at least for here, they do have a chance. But yeah, I'm going to back Qatar to win Group A, and I'm going to back Iraq to win Group B. This is going to be so fun to watch if Oman or Indonesia can spoil the party, though, because Indonesia in Group B, they really could make this difficult, especially for Saudi Arabia. And then Oman, like, under Kirosh, anything is possible. And by anything, I mean 0-0 draws and 1-0 wins off of, set pieces and counterattacks. Like, they're just going up against two pretty good offenses. That's the really big downside to Oman. I think that if Oman pulled Iraq and Saudi Arabia, I don't think they would finish last. I think I would pick them to finish in second and go through to round 5. But I will be impressed if their defense holds up against the UAE and Qatar for 180 minutes. There's probably more to say about this draw, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you guys want to see a follow-up video on this, let me know down below in the comments. Or if there's a little side story you guys are curious about my thoughts on, again, down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button. Again, hit subscribe for more AFC content here on DeadBall TV. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm very excited for round 4. We will be there no matter what, and I'll see y'all in the next one.